Good morning, welcome to this frosty morning. My fingers are already freezing, so forgive me if I have to move the camera around an awful lot and change my hands around. You know, life is like ordering food at a dodgy restaurant. You think you're making the right choice, but really you're just picking between food poisoning or severe disappointment. And the waiter, that's society, nudging you towards the special you never asked for. Speaking of which, have you ever felt like you've spent your whole life doing what others expect, reminiscing about the past, and being told to plan for the future, only to realise the only place you should be is right now, right here. Yep, welcome to my TED Talk. But instead of TED, it's me. And instead of a stage, hit by the sun there, it's your screen. And just stuck with me for the next, 10 minutes? And if that's not enough motivation to hit the like and subscribe, I don't know what is. Because let's be real, if you don't, I can't guarantee you won't wake up tomorrow with a sudden urge to start taking unsolicited life advice from that one aunt who thinks that Mercury retrograde is the reason you lost your job. You don't want that, do you? Trust me. Thank you for joining me on this frosty morning. Things are already about to fall off, but I'll fight through. The one good thing is the muddy path is frozen, so less chance of slipping up. I didn't say no chance. Now, let's talk about our good friend Marcus Aurelius, who once said, via Epictetus I might say, because apparently ancient philosophers were also into quoting each other like a bunch of Instagram influencers. What did he say? We must discover the missing art of ascent and pay special attention to the sphere of our impulses, that they are subject to reservation to the common good, and that they are in proportion to actual worth. That was quite a mouthful. What on earth did that mean? Your impulses are basically like that one friend who insists on texting their ex at 2 a.m. And just because you feel like doing something doesn't mean to say you should do it. Instead, you need to check. Is this actually worth it? Is it for the greater good? Or am I about to metaphorically set my life on fire? And let me tell you, I've spent years setting my life on fire. Not literally, of course. Although I did almost burn my kitchen down once, leaving a candle alight and going out. That was a fun return home. But metaphorically? Oh, absolutely. I lived by what other people wanted, let my past define me, and constantly stressed about the future that hadn't even happened yet. Do you know what the 3D world did? It kept reflecting back exactly who I was being, a person stuck in an endless loop of other people's expectations, old regrets, and future anxieties. Jackpot. It was like I was in a Groundhog Day, except of being a charming Bill Murray, learning life lessons. It was just me, waking up every morning and thinking, why does everything feel the same? Oh, right. Because I keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. I'm sure somewhere that's the definition of madness. Am I crazy? So let's stick there, shall we? Time for some ASKfirmations, also known as questions that'll make you think without making you want to throw your phone at the window. Number 1. Am I acting out of impulse or intention? Think of this like being in a horror movie. You can either be the idiot that runs towards the creepy noise in the basement, impulse, or the genius who grabs a weapon and slowly backs away in tension? Your move. Choose wisely. Transformation number 2. Would my future self thank me for this decision? This is the classic do I text my ex test. If the future you is screaming, for the love of God, don't do it, then maybe don't. Just going to enjoy this beautiful view for a bit. Mad. Transformation number 3. If I were the main character in a film, would this be a triumphant moment or a tragic montage set to a sad Adele song? Because, let's be honest, we've all had those someone like you montage moments, haven't we? Let's aim for something more like Eye of the Tiger. Transformation number 4. Am I letting other people's expectations dictate my choices? Picture yourself as Neo in the Matrix. Do you take the red pill and wake up to reality? Or do you take the blue pill and stay in the illusion of doing what everyone else wants? Choose wisely. Next. Transformation number 5. Am I living in the past, the future, or the now? Because here's the thing. The past is basically a DVD you've watched a million times. And spoiler alert, it ends the same every single time. The future? A trailer movie that hasn't even been made yet. A trailer for a movie even. But the present, that's where the action is happening, my friend. That's where you want to be. And finally, number 6. Am I assigning worth to things that actually matter? Let's be real. The amount of emotional energy we spend on things like Karen from accounting's passive-aggressive email could probably power a small country. So maybe, just maybe, let's redirect that energy toward something useful, like world domination, or at least finishing that book we started 6 months ago. And here's another thing. When you start questioning yourself in a good way, life stops feeling like a badly scripted reality show and starts feeling a little more, well, intentional. You're choosing, you're editing the script, you're directing the film instead of just being a confused extra in the background. So before I finally go into the beautiful sunset, sunrise even, let me leave you with this. If you take nothing else from this video, remember that you're not trapped in the past, you're not at the mercy of the future, and you're definitely not obligated to keep playing a role you didn't even audition for. You know, I've spent my life living by what others wanted me to do, dwelling in the past, and being told I should focus on the future, only to realize the place I actually have power is right now. And funnily enough, the moment I stopped living as my old self, the world stopped reflecting it. It stopped reflecting it back to me. It took a while to catch up though. Almost like reality was waiting for me to get the memo. I finally got it. And finally, since ancient Stoic wisdom deserves a modern remix, let me leave you with this thought. Mastering life isn't about chasing every impulse like a cat with a laser pointer. It's about choosing what actually matters, knowing when to pause, and making sure your actions align with who you want to be, not just who you've been. Live with intention, not reaction. Now, if you've enjoyed this 10-minute video, hit like, subscribe and comment below, or don't. But just know that if you don't, somewhere out there, a motivational speaker is preparing to give you a very long and very dramatic speech about wasted potential, and it will be accompanied by a slow motion montage. You're cool. Have a great day, and I love you, and I miss you.